So this is my Draw My Life. So it all began on September 21st, 1994, and this is my lovely mother, Denise, and I just had a mom, and yeah, my biological father, he was just not ready to be a parent, so she decided to separate from him and just do it all on her own. We lived at my grandparents' house, or Mama and Papa is what I called them, and they lived in Shelton, Washington, which is a super small, just kind of a forest town, and we lived on a lake, and we lived with them. So my mom was an extremely hard worker when I was little, and she still is to this very day. She worked at Walgreens at the photo department, and she developed photos all day for her job. And she worked from 8 to 11 every single day, even holidays. So very hard worker, and she was a single parent. During the day when my mom was at work, my grandma would watch me, or Mama, and yeah, we would have a lot of fun, and we would garden together, and she would just do everything a grandma would do, I guess. And my Papa, or my grandpa, as you guys probably see, he was a very hard worker as well. He loved me very much. He worked at the sawmill, or the lumber mill, and he was a manager there. And he acted kind of as a father figure for me because I didn't have a dad when I was super little, so he just kind of loved me as if I was his child. Okay, so when I was 3, my mom started dating again, and she met this lovely man, Mark, and they fell in love pretty much automatically. I think they dated for like 2 months, and they were just very happy, and something that they always tell me is, I said to him, "You and my mama gonna get married," and they dated for 1 year, and when I was 4, they got married, and I got to be in their wedding, and it was really, really pretty, and they just love each other so much. About 2 months later, they told me that I was going to be a big sister, and I was so happy because I had been the only child for like 4 years, and I just wanted a little brother or sister. So on April 27th, 2000, Mason was born, and I was so excited. I got to be a big sister. I got to help take care of him. And then about June 2000, Mark wanted to be my dad, and I automatically was like, yes, you can be my dad, because I loved him so much. But the only problem was my biological dad didn't want him to adopt me, so he said no, and we had to wait. In about 2001, in September, my mom and dad told me, "You are going to have a little sister," and once again, I was super excited because I liked Mason, and then I get to be another sister, so that's exciting. And then in December 2001, my biological father finally let Mark adopt me, so he became my legal dad. In January 2002, the 29th, Maya was born, and there she is. She's a little peanut. That was her nickname when she was born. So yeah, I was super happy that I got a little sister. A few months later, after Maya was born, the economy dropped, and my dad lost his job, and we also lost our house. So we had to move in with Mama and Papa. And this was the same house that I lived in when I was born, and this was 8 people and 3 rooms. Yeah, that's a lot of people. So there was the 5 of us, and my great-grandma was living there, and then Mama and Papa. So that was a lot of people, and us 5 in my family, we all shared 1 room. And there was also a lake, so I got to swim pretty much all year round if I really wanted to. About 2 years later, Mark was like, "Hey, we found a house," and we had enough money to move out. So we got a new house. Everyone got their own room, and it was really nice. There was a park next door, and a new school, of course. Almost 3 years later, Papa was diagnosed with stomach cancer, and this really started a bad time in all of our lives. Sorry, I'm going to start crying on this part. So we either got to see him and he was very sick, or it was, can we see Papa, and the story was not today. So Father's Day 2005, we had a giant party for Papa, and even though everyone was at the party, even like aunts and uncles, he was still very, very sick, and he just wasn't himself. You could just tell. And then November 14th, 2005, me and Daddy were looking for a new house because we wanted to move closer to his job. And we got a phone call, and it was from Mama, and we got the news that Papa had died. And Father's Day was the last time that I got to see him. The next day, I sang at church, and I held back the tears. After I sang, everyone was like, you know, he's probably watching you from heaven, and he's probably so proud. And we were just all very, very sad. Shortly after that, we had moved, and we moved to a bigger house, and it was a fixer-upper, and my mom and Dad really wanted a house that we could do our own because Baba was such a handyman. And yeah, it was a really pretty house, and it was like in historic Tacoma, so all the old houses, and it was just really pretty. There was a big park across the street, and it was just great. So the reason why we had moved again was to be closer to our dad's work, which was in Seattle. And we lived in Tacoma, but it was still a 2-hour commute, so he had to take the bus every day. This was still a dark time in our lives. Our mom got really depressed, and she didn't work anymore. She couldn't function, and because she couldn't function, I didn't go to school, so the school system, or the school district, actually threatened to kick me and my brother out because we were never at school. A few months later, my mom got better, and she got some medical help, and I started going to school again, and I met my best friend, Emily, in 4th grade, and yeah, we were just best friends. Also in 4th grade, I got my first cat ever. Her name was Claire, and she was 19 years old, and I loved her so much, and every night she would sleep at the foot of my bed. In 5th grade, we got Inca, and we still have her, and me and Emily were still inseparable and best friends. 6th grade, me and Emily went to different schools, and we didn't really talk too much because we were just in different places, and we didn't really have phones back then, so we couldn't really talk to each other or anything, and we lived kind of far away from each other. Also, Claire died, and that was really hard, and it was also, Inca got pretty depressed too because Claire was her best friend. And also we had an inspection done on our house, and the wires in the house were just really bad, and there was a chance of a fire, so my parents didn't want us to stay there, and so we moved into, yet again, another house. And also in this house, I was actually going to the same school that Emily went to, so I got to be friends with her friends, and a lot of people from our elementary school went to that school, so I also kind of met more friends because of people going there. In 7th grade, me and Emily and this girl named Crystal, which was Emily's friend when I wasn't going to the school, we were kind of like the clique, and we always matched, and we always did our hair the same, and we were just always together. In 8th grade, I just really didn't want to talk to Emily anymore. I don't know, I was kind of like an awkward time. I was kind of emo, I guess. And people would think that I was weird because I hung out with Emily, which was kind of goth as well. So I just didn't want to be called names anymore, so I just stopped talking to her. So in 9th grade, me and Crystal became very, very close friends, and we went to the same high school. And yeah, our school was pretty big, and it had a clock tower, as you can see. in the middle of 9th grade, I found out that we were moving across state in Washington into a littler city, and I wasn't too happy about that because I have all my friends, and I was just really sad. And during that time, I discovered the wonderful world of YouTube, and my first people that really inspired me to do videos was JLovesMac1 and Heather123, and this was kind of my escape from the world. That summer, my mom got Luna, and we were all so excited because we got another cat, and yeah, we just really loved her, and we still have her to this very day. And so we moved across state, and I don't know, I kind of just wanted YouTube. It was my escape and the only time that I felt happy, and I got pretty depressed when we moved. In 10th grade, I was pretty much a loner. I gained a ton of weight, and I just wasn't happy at all. I just ate a ton. Food was pretty much my escape, and the only time I felt happy. The first day of school, I actually cried. Yeah, I just didn't have any friends, and it was the second year of high school, and everybody had their own friends, and I was alone. So during this time when I was really alone and had no friends, I made YouTube videos, and my awkward award goes to my collective haul that I did a really long time ago, and yeah, I was just so awkward, and you could tell that I was just very depressed, and I just wasn't myself. In 11th grade, I started to get pretty happy again because I got new friends, and I made friends mostly through choir, and I was in a top-level choir group, and we did a lot of competitions and stuff, and that was just really what I love. I love to sing, and it's just a really good thing to do. And I met this girl, Nikki, and she was my best friend. She was actually from Puyallup, which isn't too far from Tacoma, and we just really clicked. And I lost weight. I was just happier, and I started to do more YouTube videos. I also went to prom with Nikki, and that was really fun, and I also went to the class of 2012's graduation, and I cried a lot because a lot of my friends that I had made through choir were in the class of 2012. So now on to 12th grade, and this was my senior year, and I started dental assisting, and I got my RDA because of it, and I really, really like doing dental assisting, and I made tons of friends from all different schools around our area because of this dental assisting class. And Nikki had to move, and it was pretty sad, and Allie, my new friend that I had made, she's like my sister now, I guess, and yeah. And I also became YouTube partner in the middle of 12th grade, and I just felt all around happy. I had friends now, and I had lost more weight, and I also went to prom with all my friends, and it was really fun. And then the senior barbecue towards the end of the year, we had a lot of pictures and a lot of memories made, and we had lunch together, and we also went to the river, and we did some fishing with one of my friends. And then graduation, yay, class of 2013, I walked with two of my best friends that I made this year, and it was Katie and Kylie, and us three walked together, and it was really fun. And I got my diploma, and I made my parents, myself, and all my family proud that I finally accomplished it. Yeah, my dreams are slowly coming true, and I'm in a happy place now, and I love all of you. And this is the end, for now anyways. Yeah. Bye.